Alright, so we are moving into 3D and we want to understand how to describe geometric objects in 3 dimensions. So let's talk about lines in space. First, let's recall that in 2 dimensions, in order to find the equation of a line, because we'd like to find the equation of a line in 3 dimensions, but in 2D, we usually need a point and the slope of the line. Or if we have 2 points, then that's enough information because that allows us to find the slope also. Point and slope. In 3D, we are going to need a point on the line and what's going to take place of the slope for us is going to be a vector that gives us the direction of the line. And this vector is called the direction vector. So that's like the slope. So direction vector is going to give us the direction of the line. So I have sketched here our line in blue that we're going to find its equation for. And notice that I put a little vector v at the origin, so v is a position vector in the direction of our line L. So this is what we're going to call our direction vector. Now, we are also going to get the position vector from the origin to our initial point, the point that we have on the line, P sub 0, whose coordinates are x0, y0, z0. So I'm going to draw the position vector from the origin to that point. So there is my position vector. And so that vector, let's call it, I don't know, let's call this O for origin. OP0 vector is the vector whose head is at x sub 0, y sub 0, z sub 0, our given point. Right? So here I have the given point is P sub 0. Now, let's let any other point on the line be P, whose coordinates are in general x, y, z. The way that we obtain every point on the line, given our vector OP from the origin to our point on the line and our direction vector V, is by symbol vector addition. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to take our vector OP, so x0, y0, and z0, and to that I'm going to add v. So I'm going to move our position vector v, our direction vector v, onto the line. There it is. There's v. And if I add v to our original p, we're going to get another point on the line. If I add another v, we're going to get another point on the line. If I subtract v, we're going to get another point on the line. If I subtract half v, we're going to get a point on the line. So the way that we get all of our points on the line is by adding t times our direction vector v. So let's call v, I don't know, let's give it v1, v2, v3. Our direction vectors. So v1, v2, v3, and we will let t range from negative infinity to infinity, and that will give us all of the points on our line. And so we have just developed the vector equation for the line, where t ranges from negative infinity to infinity. That will generate all of the points on the line because I'm just basically copying v and adding it to p sub 0, right? I'm copying scalar multiples of v, adding them to p sub 0, and that's going to generate all of the vectors that point to points on the line. So that's how we get a line. So let's continue working on this a little bit more. Our vector equation for the line, remember the things that are given to us are vector v is the direction vector that tells us the direction that our line is headed in, and a point p, let's call it p sub 0, and I'm just gonna give that a vector name. So we'll say it's x0, y0, z0. This is the position vector from the origin to the point p sub 0. And we get our vector equation. So our line, let's call it r of t, because we still have a parameter t, notice. That's going to be our vector p0 plus t times our vector v, where v is the direction vector. So this is called our vector equation. We can also write it in terms of the components. Any point on the line with coordinates x, y, z will be equal to that point that we know, x0, y0, z0, but the position vector that ends there, plus t times our direction vector, v1, v2, v3. Actually, typically, we call the direction vector has components a, b, c instead of v1, v2, v3. So I'm just going to change that here so that we're consistent with our textbook. And we will also be able to draw some parallels between the parametric equation of a 2D line and the vector equations of the 3D line. So here is our vector equation. And from that equation, we can read out 3 parametric equations of a line in space. So our parametric equations of our line in space will be the equations of each component. So reading off our components from our vector equation, we see that x, let's call it x of t because we have a parameter t, equals, well, x is going to be adding the components in the right, x0 plus t times a. So we're going to have x sub 0 plus t times a. That will generate all of the x coordinates on our line, no matter what value of t we put in. Y of t will use the second coordinate. So notice we're going to do y equals y sub 0 plus t times b. T is just a scalar. So this will be y0 plus t times b. And then finally z of t, we're going to start at z sub 0 plus t times c. T times c, where we're letting t go from negative infinity to infinity to give us the entire line. And these 3 equations are called the parametric equations of the line. Notice that the first 2 are our 2D parametric equation of a line with slope b over a. So we've extended this to 3 parametric equations in space. And there's one more form of the equation of a line called the symmetric equations. And the way that we're going to get these are by solving each equation, each parametric equation for t, and equating the t's together. So symmetric equations, we're going to solve for t, solve the equations above 1, 2, and 3 for our parameter t. And then we'll set them equal to each other because they will all represent the same t. So we have x equals x sub 0 plus at. Solving this for t will give me, I'm going to subtract x sub 0 from both sides. And then finally, I'm going to divide both sides by a. So I have that x minus x0 over a equals t. That's our first equation. Went from parametric to now a symmetric form. Our second equation, y equals y sub 0 plus bt, I'm going to solve that for t also. So we'll have y minus y0 equals b times t, and then dividing both sides by b will give me y minus y sub 0 over b equals t. And our third equation, z equals z sub 0 plus c times t, will become z minus z0 equals ct. Solving for t, I'm going to divide both sides by c to get z minus z sub 0 over c equals t. Now these are all the same t. So the symmetric equation is actually one equation that can be written x minus x sub 0 over a equals y minus y0 over b equals z minus z0 over c, because all of this is actually t. So these are called the symmetric equations. So we've got a vector equation, the parametric equations, and the symmetric equation, and they all represent the same line. They all represent the same line. I wanted to say one more thing, but I forgot. So I think that does it. In fact, oh no, here's what I wanted to say. What we needed, we always need a point on the line that gives us the vector, position vector x0, y0, z0, and we always need our direction vector that tells us the direction that the line is headed in, and that's given with ABC. And the parameter for t ranges from negative infinity to infinity.